Todd Blanche is on the floor. Right now, federal medical teams are rushing into the room. Trump is on the phone screaming for his immediate arrest. This isn't a simple policy debate anymore. This is a complete, unprecedented breakdown at the absolute highest level of American law enforcement. I spent the last 12 hours tracking the leaked memos, the medical reports, and the panic calls shaking Washington right now. Here is exactly what went down. The entire situation exploded on Tuesday morning inside room 402. The energy in the courtroom was already boiling over. Blanche stood up to present his statement, but eyewitnesses say his hands were visibly shaking. That is highly unusual for a veteran federal prosecutor. Then, the side door opened. A courier walked in and placed a sealed black envelope directly onto the defense desk. Blanche opened it. He read just 3 lines. His face went completely white. He took one step back, grabbed the edge of the wooden podium, and collapsed right onto the carpet. That moment triggered a massive chain reaction, starting with a secret note that changed everything. The news hit the Oval Office within 4 minutes. Trump did not ask if his acting attorney general was okay. He went straight to his keyboard. The social media posts started instantly. Disloyal, weak, a total disaster. Within an hour, he was publicly calling for Blanche to step down and face immediate arrest for treason. Have you ever backed someone up at work, completely risked your own neck for them, only to have them throw you under the bus the second things got messy? That is exactly the reality Todd Blanche is facing right now. He was Trump's personal defense lawyer. He took the hits. He stood in the line of fire for years. Now, he is the primary target. It is exactly like ordering a specific pizza, choosing the toppings yourself, and then screaming at the delivery driver because you suddenly realize you hate mushrooms. Trump picked Blanche specifically to run the Justice Department because he wanted a fierce loyalist. He got a fighter. The problem is, the fighter finally decided to draw a line. But this story takes a massive, unexpected turn at exactly 2 o'clock in the morning. A secure line rang inside the Capitol building. A prominent senator made a private threat to the White House that completely flips who holds the upper hand in this fight. We will get to the details of that midnight phone call in just a second. First, we have to look at what was actually happening behind the scenes right before Blanche hit the ground. Think about your own life for a moment. If your boss told you to do something that you knew would land you in a federal prison cell, would you walk away? Or would you cross that line just to keep your paycheck? Blanche chose to walk away. And that single choice just unleashed a storm. What the White House legal team completely missed is a hidden clause buried deep inside the internal Department of Justice guidelines. It is an old administrative rule dating back to the 1970s. If an acting attorney general is threatened with arrest under these exact high-stress conditions, it triggers an automated legal protocol that the president absolutely cannot stop. It functions as a legal dead man's switch. Trying to arrest your own top law enforcement officer to stop an internal dispute is like a high-stakes game of Jenga. You think you can just yank out the bottom block because it is getting in your way. You think the top of the tower will just magically float in the air. It doesn't work that way. The whole structure comes crashing down on your head. Look, I will be completely honest with you. When I first saw the breaking news headlines about this courtroom collapse, I did not want to believe it. It sounded far too dramatic. It felt like a cheap Hollywood movie script. I actually sat at my desk for 2 full hours just staring at the raw source documents because I thought it had to be fake news or internet hyperbole. But the data does not lie. The court transcripts are real, and the panic inside the administration is entirely genuine. Remember that midnight phone call from the senator? Let's close that loop right now. The call was a direct warning to the White House Chief of Staff. The message was brutal and direct. If the administration moves forward with a physical public arrest of Todd Blanche, the Senate will immediately freeze every single judicial confirmation for the rest of the presidential term. The party is fracturing in real time. The absolute support Trump thought he had is evaporating behind closed doors.
So,
What exactly was inside that sealed black envelope that caused Blanche to collapse? It was not a sudden health scare. It was a massive, coordinated leak. The envelope contained a full printout of an encrypted chat log. The log showed top White House aides discussing a detailed plan to completely bypass the federal courts and seize control of private financial records without a warrant. Blanche realized in that exact microsecond that he was actively being set up to take the entire fall for an illegal operation. The pure shock of the betrayal literally caused his blood pressure to bottom out on the spot. Ask yourself this important question. If the basic rules of law can just disappear for the most powerful person in the country, what happens to you the next time you have a legal dispute with a major bank or a local utility company? If you cannot trust the referee in a simple weekend game, you cannot even play. And that brings us right back to the legal dead man's switch inside the Justice Department. Because the public call for an arrest was made, that automated protocol has officially activated. A special, independent career official has just been designated to secure and protect the integrity of the department's active investigative files. Trump wanted to lock Blanche up to bury the documents. Instead, his aggressive action just locked those exact files behind a secure wall that the White House has zero legal authority to touch. It is exactly like turning off your home smoke detector because you do not like the loud, annoying beeping sound, even though the kitchen is actively covered in roaring flames. The fire does not stop just because you silence the warning, it only gets bigger. Right now, Todd Blanche is recovering in a secure facility under tight protection. Trump is still fiercely demanding he step down immediately. The Senate is actively preparing for an institutional war. We started today with an attorney general collapsed on the floor and a president screaming for handcuffs. We end with a legal system pushed past its absolute breaking point. The walls are testing their strength in real time. I will be right here to track every single crack in the system. See you in the next one.